What is up, Waffle Gang? I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some r/am I the butthole. If you'd like to skip the initial waffle, timestamps are in the description and along the timeline below, but if you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too. And just a huge thank you for spending 20 minutes or so with the channel on the daily. You know how much it means to me and how much of a difference you make, so thank you for doing you. And yesterday we did have some membership updates. We had Julia who changed their pledge, and just thank you so much for what you did. And we also had Morgan McDonough and Satan T. Thank you so much. And then over on YouTube we had AMV Killer 101, Cam Henderson, and Helen Borland with the rejoin. Thank you so much for your support, time, and love. And let's crack on with today's stories. Much love, guys. Now this first story comes from Roughbike2252. Am I the arsehole for tricking my coworker into eating MSG? I have a coworker, Trish, who is really into eating authentic cuisines from other countries and not wanting to eat the fake stuff, e.g. she refuses to eat Dominos because according to her, Italians would never eat such a thing. She also claims she has an MSG allergy. There's a Chinese restaurant close by, but we haven't catered from them since she made a large spectacle of stomach pains and headaches when we ordered from them over a year ago. She ordered a separate dish of plain steamed veggies and meat, but claimed there must have been cross-contamination and demanded that we not cater from them again. Whenever someone gets Chinese takeout, she loudly talks about how it's fake Americanized Chinese food and that MSG would give us cancer. She frequently mentions how she misses the real Chinese food she had when she went to China, once like a decade ago. She often comments on my food, I'm Chinese, which I cook from home, saying things like, wow, that smells so good, you can tell it's authentic and doesn't have preservatives and isn't catered to white people like the food from that restaurant. She's white. I mostly ignore this, and honestly, I wouldn't even call my food authentic Chinese food, it's just stir fry with sauce generally. Last week I volunteered to bring in food for my team of 6 people. Edit to clarify, Trish is not part of this team, since I know they like the food I make. I do cook with MSG sometimes. It's definitely not something all Chinese people do, but my family does it with certain dishes because it makes things delicious. There were some leftovers which someone put in the fridge after the meeting with a note saying anyone could take some. I didn't really think about it since this is normal. Well, apparently Trish had some of the food I made. At the end of the day, she came by my desk and commented how delicious my real Chinese food was. She claimed could tell I made it without preservatives or MSG because she would normally get sick within minutes if she accidentally had MSG. She also claimed it tasted just like the food she ate when she was in Beijing. I'm not even from Beijing. After she went on for a few minutes, I just told her there was actually MSG added to some of the dishes I made, but it was good to know her allergy was cured now since I wouldn't want her to get sick. She freaked out and suddenly claimed she had a huge headache and felt like she was going to throw up. She yelled at me for not telling her I put MSG in the food. I didn't realise she would eat it since she normally doesn't eat the communal food and it was intended for my team members, not her. She went to HR because I supposedly tricked her into eating something I knew she couldn't eat, and now I have a meeting with HR next week. I don't know how this is going to go. In all honesty, maybe I was kind of hoping to peg down her anti-MSG crusade, but if she had asked, I would have told her what the ingredients were. Am I the arsehole or not? Now, I got to admit, I don't know too much about MSGs and stuff like that, so I'm not going to go too much into that one, but I think if I was in that position, if I was in Trish's position, and I did have an allergy, whatever type of allergy it was, I wouldn't take communal food. I wouldn't go to the fridge and just take something that I didn't know how it was made. It just doesn't make sense, does it? So to go to HR and complain about that, especially when everyone puts food in the fridge anyway, yeah, it just doesn't make sense, does it? So absolutely not the arsehole in this situation. But let's check out some of the comments to see what they say. And we're going to start off with 21027 saying, obviously not the arsehole. MSG allergies do not exist, and most but not all MSG sensitivities are basically psychosomatic, nor does MSG have any dangerous negative side effects. These things have been shown in many studies, and as my second link I shared also discusses, the whole MSG allergy thing originated as an anti-Asian racist myth. And the Angry Bookmouse says anyone with a real allergy would be incredibly cautious of communal food without knowing the ingredients and at least ask. I cannot imagine how you could be responsible for this with HR. You didn't lie about what was in it to get her to eat it, so you did not trick her. Not the arsehole, plus she sounds like a completely pretentious idiot who wants to seem cultured and important, and since she only got a headache after you said something, I'm disinclined to believe her all the more. If she's ever eaten a tomato, by the way, she's had MSG. I've read there's no chemical difference between natural and non. And Laughing's Better says not the arsehole, if Trish was truly allergic, she wouldn't be eating random food without knowing the content. You did not force this food on her, nor was it a part of her department's meal. Does Trish eat tomatoes and cheese? MSG occurs naturally in these foods. You did not trick her, she is a drama queen. And we have one more from Turd saying, not the arsehole, Trish is big time. According to her logic, you are not allowed to cook with MSG because you are Chinese and it does not fit her opinion of what real Chinese food is made with. She made the assumption about what ingredients you would use based on your race. That is in fact racist of her. Who is she to get mad at you for not conforming to her expectations? You should be the one complaining to HR about her. Plus, you didn't serve her the food. She took it without asking what was in it. People that have real allergies know to ask what is in the food they are about to eat. She made a fool of herself and was caught in a lie about her allergy. And now I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys think of this one? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Now this next one, I saw the title and I thought, it's so ridiculous, I gotta read it. And it made me really hungry too. Automatic Cricket 71. Am I the arsehole for bringing out regular bread when a pregnant woman ordered garlic-free garlic bread? I'm a waitress at a restaurant. Earlier, a pregnant woman came in with her husband. When I went to get their orders, the woman asked for garlic-free garlic bread. I advised her that our garlic bread was just our regular bread with garlic butter instead of regular butter, and asked her to clarify if she just wanted regular bread. But she insisted no, she wanted our garlic bread just without garlic. I let her know she could just order regular bread and it would be $1 less, but she insisted she had a huge craving for garlic bread without the garlic. I wasn't really sure what to do, but her husband got angry and said something like, "Can't you see that she's pregnant? It's not that hard just to bring out garlic bread without garlic." So I took their order and told the kitchen she wanted garlic bread without the garlic. Kitchen staff thought I was being snarky, but brought out the regular bread for her. She immediately starts crying and asking me if I was treating her like an idiot. How could I treat a pregnant woman so badly? Is it that hard to make garlic bread without garlic? But literally, we do nothing different to our garlic bread except use garlic butter instead of our regular butter. Her husband flagged down a manager telling me I was being condescending and that his wife had been craving this all week, but garlic was making her nauseous. The manager came over and I explained what was going on. The manager apologised and took the bread back and told me to just bring out another loaf of bread with garlic butter on the side. I was a little annoyed, but I did it and gave it to them. The husband got angry again, told the manager I was being intentionally difficult and cruel, then left with his wife, who ate the garlic-free garlic bread using the garlic butter. This just feels bizarre to me. Both me and my manager weren't really sure how to handle this. Am I the arsehole for bringing out regular bread when the woman ordered garlic-free garlic bread? Edit to clarify, and I'm going to butcher this one, it's a focaccia loaf. The regular and garlic bread are baked the exact same way, it's just one uses garlic and the other doesn't. Edit 2 to clarify further, the lady says she has been to the restaurant before, she was completely aware of what our garlic bread contained. She was specifically craving our garlic bread, which is a flat focaccia with salt, herbs, butter and garlic. Our regular bread is the exact same thing with no garlic, so it has the salt, herbs and butter. They are both served warm. The bread isn't toasted like Texas toast style garlic bread. The focaccias are pretty flat, so you can't really toast it, but the crust is still pretty crunchy and buttery. Now, I've never heard of anything that's even close. Is it even a thing, is what I'm saying? Garlic-free garlic bread, it just can't be a thing. It's just bread, like OP was saying. It's not a thing. So you're definitely not the arsehole because they was asking something completely ridiculous, but it felt like it was like one of those jokes that you get played on in the workplace, like telling a new employee to go and find some tartan paint or something like that, or asking them to go and find a long wait. Something stupid like that. It felt like one of those to me. But obviously they wasn't joking in this situation and they was getting real riled up about it. And I can't believe they sat there and they thought, you know, let's ask for some garlic-free garlic bread. Like that makes any sense. Oh, come on now, come on. Definitely not the arsehole in this situation, but let's check out the comments because they're going to say the exact same thing, I'm sure. And we'll start off with Significant Onion 21 saying, lol, no, not the arsehole. There was literally no way to satisfy her in this situation, it appears. Pregnancy isn't an excuse for her here. Some patrons are just going to be like that. And Prior Lobster says, not the arsehole, but I'm pregnant, and after reading this, I am desperate for garlic bread. With garlic. So you're the arsehole for making me hungry. And Mr. Zero says, not the arsehole, they are asking you for an item that does not exist. The customer is not always right, especially when they demand you make a square circle. And Lulu says, not the arsehole, I don't know what sort of hormone-induced performance piece they were trying to get into, but that was some absolute foolishness, and you did nothing wrong by trying desperately to figure what the fuck they wanted. You've more patience than I. And one more from I'm Real Dude saying, not the arsehole. Were they trying to get free food? Because I see no other reason for such a response. Being pregnant is an excuse. From my understanding, she'd be eating the same thing, just $1 more, right? And now I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys think of this ridiculous situation? I love these type of ones, they're my favourite. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And our next story comes from Key Awareness 6637. Am I the arsehole for wanting my girlfriend to stop sucking her thumb? So I, 28 male, live with my girlfriend, 22 female, of 3 years together. Everything has been brilliant and nothing has ever come between us until now. I came home last week from work to find her watching TV, sucking her thumb. I was a bit surprised and asked her what she was doing. She says that she does it to comfort herself and is a force of habit. I'd never seen her do this before, so I thought it was just a one-off, but every time I was seeing her around the house, she was sucking her thumb. My theory is she was embarrassed about it, so never did it around me, but now feels comfortable enough that she just does it in front of me, not caring. So this goes on a few days and I'm starting to get annoyed, as I think it's babyish and it's not good for her teeth. For your information, she told me as a kid she had buck teeth and needed braces. No prizes for guessing how it happened. So I tell her this and she gets really defensive, saying she came from an abusive home, which I knew, and it comforts her. Hearing this, I drop it. That isn't until last night. We had sex and everything was great. We cuddled afterwards. Whilst cuddling, I see that she is sucking her thumb, which for some reason tips me over the edge, and I get out of bed complaining of her thumb sucking. I reiterate my argument from earlier and she starts crying and shouting at me that if I love her I would let her suck her thumb and that she can't help it. I had to finish the night on the sofa. I'm at a loss right now. Today she has given me the cold shoulder and I'm wondering whether I'm the arsehole and at fault, especially with the abusive home thing. Now I feel guilty. I've tried speaking to her saying that I have her best interests at heart with her teeth thing and I don't want her to have braces again, but she won't have any of it. So am I the arsehole? Now I think this one's just going to come down to how you actually view thumb sucking in whatsoever, because although you may see it as like unhealthy to be doing, it's pretty harmless, right? Sucking your thumb is pretty harmless, and if it's a coping mechanism for her from what she's been through in her past, I personally don't see much wrong with it. If I was with someone and they started sucking their thumb as a coping mechanism, I don't think I'd be that bothered by it. You know, if it's helping them out, you go for it. And that's just my opinion. But I can see how some people will come into this and like it, especially after sex or something like that, and say, oh, that's a turn off because we associate thumb sucking with childhood and stuff like that. Therapy is probably a great option for her that maybe help her with her past experiences and may cut down the thumb sucking, but then again it may not, and it may be something that she wants to continue to do for the rest of her life. The whole thing to me in this one just feels so emotionally insensitive to the girlfriend, you know, about what she's gone through in her past. And you know, at this point she sat there and felt comfortable to start sucking her thumb in front of you, which is a big step for her. It must be a huge step for her, and you just totally smashed that to pieces by freaking out over it and not talking about it like an adult, because you could have went down the path saying, you know, it is a bit of a turn off, please can you try to reduce it where possible, and just been an adult about it and talked about therapy and other options and things like that. But you didn't. You just went for the nuclear option, went off on her about it, which, you know, is just the wrong way to do it. So I will say you are the arsehole in this situation for me. But God rest in reason says, so getting mad at her and puffing chest isn't the right thing to do, and it isn't going to solve anything. I get why you might feel uncomfortable by this because it illustrates a developmental issue, which, depending on how deep this goes, raises some ethical questions about your relationship. So don't think I don't understand where you are coming from. But you thinking you can solve this by beating your chest and arguing with her makes you the arsehole. She needs therapy, not a boyfriend to get all pouty and treat her like a child. You're the arsehole. Edit for the people reading comprehension issues. I didn't say she has a mental age of a child. Thumb sucking as an adult is factually a developmental issue. I didn't say it's harmful, I said I understand why someone would be uncomfortable with it and could be a warning sign for other issues. At me when I say he should break up with her immediately instead of making your own assumptions about what I'm saying without critically thinking. And Purple Wombat says sucking your thumb reduces stress and anxiety. It's clearly something that she feels vulnerable about, but when she finally opened up to you enough to allow you to see that part of her, rather than returning her affection or worrying about why she's stressed, you lecture about dental health and tell her that it's just juvenile. And then while at her most intimate with you, cuddling after sex, you get out of bed and start lecturing her about it again. Your behaviour was controlling, emotionally insensitive, and rather than helping her to break the habit, it is most likely making her going back to do it in secret. You're the arsehole. And Thick Sherlock says, can I give 2 judgments? Not the arsehole for having an issue with her thumb sucking. You're the arsehole for your reactions. It seems she needs therapy. Maybe it's nothing serious and just needs to develop a healthier coping mechanism. Maybe it's something serious and the sucking is the only visible symptom of a very deep issue. Her reaction to you leaving the bed speaks of some issues as well. So does the fact she has been hiding this from you. Either way, you need to break it down to her and support her through the process. I completely understand the impulse of disgust you have. I would have it too, but you have to learn to communicate in a more peaceful way. You need to learn to calm down when you're ticked off and talk rationally and respectfully. You need to stop and instead of focusing on your impulsive reaction, think of reasons why she does what she does and why you feel the way you feel. Also, sucking on your thumb every waking hour may possibly affect her teeth, but doing so occasionally cannot do anything to her teeth. And we'll have one more from Yasmin saying, you're the arsehole because you think your best interest for her should determine what she does. And now I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys think of this situation? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And our next story comes from JM0988. Am I the arsehole for letting my female friend try on my girlfriend's ring? Last night, some of my close friends came over to my house. These friends are ones I've had since high school, and their significant other came. So it was my 2 guy friends and my girl, friend C, who I've known for years, and their partners and wives. I proposed to my fiancée R last month, on the 16th, her birthday, with a ring she loved. So cut to last night, she was cooking and she took off her ring and left it on the coffee table and went to get food. My friends haven't seen the ring up close and C was curious about what it looked like, so she picked it up and asked me if she can look at it. Of course I agreed, since I'm proud of the ring I chose. Then C asked if she could try it on, and I gave the okay and she did. The ring ended up not fitting on her other fingers, but her ring finger, so she tried it and was giving compliments on it. R then walks in and sees C wearing a ring and just starts being kind of rude to C, asking why she had her ring and what's wrong with her for putting it on her ring finger. It was quite awkward seeing her getting annoyed in front of everyone, so I tried to stop it by saying it was fine and I let her. This promoted my girlfriend to get him more upset and just took the ring from C and told us to eat now. I thought the whole night went fine after that, especially since R laughed a bit at a joke C made about people not messing with her ring. Then after everyone left, she just blew up on me saying that I should just marry C then, since I basically proposed to her. Which is not true, I don't know why she's making stuff up. So I told her, since I was proud of the ring I brought, that I should be able to show it off, but that led her to an old tangent about her always being insecure of C, and how she can't say anything since I met her after C. Honestly, the whole argument was irritating since I had to explain that I don't parent her friend choices and that she should drop this. For God's sake, all that happened was a woman liked her ring. I thought girls love to show off their ring. We went to bed and now this morning she's ignoring me. So guys, am I the arsehole? Because I can't see what I did wrong. If she keeps ignoring me, I guess I'll apologise, but I don't think I'm in the wrong. And we're going to start straight away with Mummy2A saying, I think one of the big problems here, that it was clear to you that it upset her once she told you, but you ignored her and told your friends to carry on. That makes you the arsehole. She tried to keep it together not to embarrass you the rest of the night and spoke to you in private. While initially, you couldn't have known she would be upset. Once you did know, you didn't care. Edited to add, you're the arsehole. And Consistent Leopard 71 says, you're the arsehole, you never let anyone other than your intended try on engagement and or wedding rings. Aside from being bad form, it's considered bad luck. Also, you should not have dismissed your fiance's feelings about walking in to see another woman wearing her ring, especially as it seems that your fiance has some insecurities about your friend C, which you also dismiss. And as for you saying, I told her since I was proud of the ring I brought, I should be able to show it off. You may have purchased the ring, but it belongs to your fiancé, and it's not yours to let other people try on. And your little voice says you're the arsehole. She felt awkward about C trying on the ring. She didn't do anything to embarrass you or make a scene. And when she later told you she was upset, you doubled down. And she didn't parent your friend's choices. She had C over and cooked for her. She didn't even bring it up until now. That's not controlling your friends. You could have just said you were sorry, you didn't know, and you wouldn't do it again. And Purple Wombat says you're the arsehole. 1, you might have chosen the ring, but once you gave it to her, it became her property, so permission wasn't yours to give. 2, there are all sorts of superstitions and rules of etiquette regarding the trying on of other people's engagement rings. It's a minefield best steered well clear of. For which reason, I would also advise your fiancé to find a more secure spot to leave it than a coffee table. 3, once you made it known that there was a problem, you told C to carry on regardless. I can't imagine how you thought this was a good idea. 4, your fiancé's insecurity regarding C is clearly not new. You should have known that allowing C of all people to wear something as intimate as your fiancé's engagement ring, and make no mistake, engagement rings are more intimate than underwear, would cause trouble. And we have one more from 3 for a girl saying, you have a problem with C. It is not standard practice for women to put on someone else's engagement ring, especially not the ring finger. What the fuck? That's a gross infringement. It's incredibly rude. It wasn't your permission to give, which C knew very well, and it sounds to me very like C did it on purpose to cause trouble or assert a place in your life in front of your fiancé. It also sounds from your fiancé's reaction that this isn't the first time C has been out of order. You need to listen to your fiancé on this one and be aware that C was way out of line. You're the arsehole and you want to watch yourself. And now I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys think of this situation? How would you act if someone put on your engagement or wedding ring? Let me know in the comments below. Now, once again, guys, thank you for being here today. I hope you did enjoy today's stories. And just to let you know, the podcast is back up. If you search on Spotify, Mark Narrations, The Wafflecast, it should come up. I think I've got 7 episodes on there again because we pretty much had to start again with this one. But I hope you do enjoy that. Stickers coming very, very soon. Got some plans for that, so keep an eye out for that. And just thank you for your love, support, and time for being here. And if you want to support the channel further, you absolutely can, but never any pressure to do so by clicking that join button down below for YouTube or clicking the link in the description for Patreon and joining up there. Thank you so much, guys, for everything you do for me. You are absolutely amazing, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Much love.